So now we will discuss how to pass array to a function. So earlier we learned about functions and we can give various arguments, various input values so that function can work on it. So now we will check how we can pass array as an argument to a function. So let's check the example. Like any simple variable, it is possible to pass the values of array also to a function. To pass a one-dimensional array to a call function, it is sufficient to list the name of the array without any subscripts and the size of array as the arguments. For example, like this. If ARR is a variable, you directly give say ARR comma B. Just like that, if it is an array also, you can call the function like that. There is no need to specify the size in square brackets or not to mention square bracket. Using function call, just like a normal variable, you can directly pass the name of the array without giving any subscript or size of array as argument. As second argument, you can give the size of the variable. That will be a normal integer. But ARR, even though it is an integer array, but you just have to give the name as such in function call. Then another thing is the function prototype should be like this. There you need not specify the size within the square bracket, but it is mandatory that you should give the square bracket to show that it is not a single float but it is an array. To show that you have to give the name like that. Then here it has two arguments. One is the array and the other is the size. So you can give the size or number of elements of the array as a different second argument of the type integer. Then declaration, we give like this. We need not specify the size of the array in the function declaration. When you give the variable name, make sure that you give only identifier, and if you get confused if it is a keyword or not, then better avoid it. So give names like ARR, etc. Don't give array int like that, so that if you accidentally use a keyword as an identifier, it will be an error. So make sure that when you use an identifier, it is not a keyword. Okay, so the pair of brackets shows that it is an array, so need not specify the size, but it is mandatory that you should give the square brackets. Okay, so it's mandatory that you should give the square brackets. So let's go through one or two programs so that this thing will be more clear. In this topic, let's learn how to pass arrays as arguments to a function. So we just now learned the basics of function. So here the program is, we are going to write a program to find the largest element in the array. So we need to write a function for finding the largest element in an array. So first, let's include the function. Function has three parts. First is function declaration or function prototype. So return value, let it be integer. Then let's give the function name as a largest. And we have to pass an array. So we'll give the name say ARR. And we are not sure of the size, so you can just give square brackets to show that it is an array, and another variable to give the size of the array. Okay, so you have two variables. One variable is for the array and the other is to get the size of that array. And for function prototype, we end it with a semicolon. So this is function prototype. Next, starting with the main function, int n ARR of 50. So maximum 50 elements can be saved in the array. You can give different name that you know. This is formal parameter and this is actual parameter. You can give same name or different name. Then printf enter number of elements, the value is n. Then to get all the n elements from the user, we give a loop. I is equal to 0, I less than n. That is, I will vary from 0 to n minus 1, and scan of percentage %d ampersand sign ARR of I. So after this point, you have the value of n and you have the value of array. Now you can call the function. function name is largest. Then the arguments are, one is the array. So here the array name is ARR. So you give ARR. And when you call the function, there is no need to give the square bracket. You just have to mention the name of the array. So it is ARR. Then size of the array, that is n here. So you can give n. And for function call, you end it with a semicolon. And the error here is, here we write it such a way that it returns an integer value. The largest value will be returned. So you can give one more variable, say large here, and you can save the value that is returned by the function in this variable. Okay, large equals largest ARR of n. If this function is written like void, it will not return a value. If that be the case, you can directly call the function. So here function prototype and function call is over. So you got the value and you need to print it. Say printf largest value in the array is %d and large is the variable. So you can print it so that the user can view the largest element. Now what is remaining? We have function definition remaining. Okay, so we'll start with the function definition. Here you know that in prototype it's given int, we have written like int largest, int ARR, comma int size. So we can start with the function definition. How to calculate the largest element? So here there is size. So for int I equals 0, I less than size, I plus plus. So whenever you need to access all elements of the array, you need a loop, obviously, because there are more than one element. So we need a loop, and loop has to execute from 0 to n minus 1 so that all the elements will be accessed. So I is equal to 0, I less than size, I plus plus. Here what you have to do? First, let's give another variable, say int L, and you can assign the first array value here. So ARR of 0 can be assigned here. Okay, so initial element is saved in L. And next, how to check for the largest? If ARR of I greater than L. Whenever ARR of I greater than L, what you have to do is L is equal to ARR of I. We have to rewrite L. So initially we give the value, the first value to L, and in the consecutive loops, whenever an element becomes larger than L, that particular value should be saved in L. So once it is out of the loop, the largest element will be L itself. So here you need not print it, you just have to return L value. There are different options. If you write the function such that it does not return a value, here you can give the print so that there is no need to return L. So based on the requirement, you can write in different ways. So let's check the whole code here. So first part was stdio.h header file, then function prototype. It ends with a semicolon. This is function name, say largest. These are the arguments, two arguments. One is just integer to mention the size of the array, and this is array. Then return type is int. All these three should be matching. So when you write the program, check if all the three are in the same way. Because when we write, sometimes we just get mixed up with the return type. One part you will write void and the other part you return the value. So based on that, there can be error. So here int is a return type. So here when we call the function also, int is a int variable is large. So large equals largest ARR of n. Here ARR. Here in both places inside the function as well as in the main function, you gave the same name ARR. So you get the array value and then you call the function with ARR as argument to this function. Then here you have the function definition to find the largest element. And here you find the largest element and the value is returned by the function. So let's check if you're getting the output. Enter the number of elements, say 6, will give certain values. Here the largest element entered is 100 and you got the value as 100. So this is the way to find the largest element. If you need to find the smallest element, how you can modify it here? Into smallest, you can give another way function name, and the only difference is in the logic. First element say ARR of 0, S is you need a variable say S or small, and first value is initialized like S is equal to ARR of 0. Then whenever ARR of I is less than S, then S is equal to ARR of I. So just by changing that, you will get the smallest element in the array. Now let's modify this program itself to find the sum of the elements in an array. You can modify the function name, say sum. Okay, in sum, there is no other difference. You get the all the values of the array, and then here instead of large, variable name can be anything. Still, to have the to have it's better to give a logical name for the variables. So here instead of large, we give sum. Sum equals function name. You give sum of ARR comma n, and sum of elements in the array is here the variable name is sum. Okay, then here again you have the function name as sum, and now let's correct the function definition. So int sum is equal to 0. So whenever you define a variable for sum, we initialize it to 0. Then within the loop, what you have to do? There's no need for any condition. You just write sum plus equals ARR of I, so that you get the sum, and here you have to return the value, say sum. So now this program has been modified to find the sum of elements of the array. Here you cannot give the same name for both the variable and the sum. So let's change it. Let's for variable name we will give sum1. Okay, so sum1 we will give the name as different. Here you can give say sum2. Sum2 plus equals ARR of I, return sum2. So here the variable name is different. Sum2 has been used as the temporary variable in function definition. Then sum1 variable is used for finding the sum, for getting the return value from the function, and for printing it here we have used sum1. Okay, so that you should be careful. So while writing the function name, that should be different from the variable name. So let's check the output. Number of elements, say 5. Let's give 10, 20, 30, 40, 10. So you got the sum as 50, 80, 100, 110. So you got the sum of elements. So this is how, these are the two examples we discussed. This is how we pass array as argument to function, and we can return the value, or you can rewrite it with the no return type. If that be the case, we will give void sum, and here you just have to call the function, so that you cannot print it here because you have no value returned by the function. Because of that you cannot print it here, so no need of variable here. So you are just calling the function and the main function is over. So when you write the function definition, you should give the provision to print the value. So here instead of return, you cannot return any value because it is void. So instead what you have to do, you have to give a provision to print the value. Sum equals %d, and after that you should put the print here. Okay, you can give like this, and there is no return. So here also you should modify it accordingly. So here we have modified it like this. So if it is void, it cannot return a value. You can only call the function. So if you need some value as a result, it has to be printed in the function definition itself, because there is no provision to return a value. So you give the print here. So you can write inside the function, just to show that this print is inside the function, and sum equals %d. You can give the print of sum2. And again you can check the output. Number of elements say 5. Let's check the sum. 50, 90, 120, 140, 150. So here you give inside the function because this shows that this print occurs inside the function. So you can write in both ways, either with no return type or a specific return type. So function call should be modified accordingly.